I finally made it. I achieved the goal I was working so hard towards to, and I finally made it. But my story does not start there. My story starts in the early 2000s when I was being raised by my parents, Inés Cedillo y Salomón Martínez. The earliest lesson my parents taught me was, Hijo, la familia viene primero y tienes que tener una educación. Son, family comes first and you have to have an education. At a young age, I noticed I was not the same like my classmates. Not because I was Mexican American or because I liked different foods or different music, different stuff, but because my parents were never involved in my education, nor in my ceremonies, my field trips, and many events that they missed. However, I can't blame them. They were only 19, 20 years old, and they had to provide for the family. And to provide for the family, that meant working countless hours. My mom worked at cleaning houses during the day and as a waitress during the night. And my dad, he worked at roofing. Mind you, we were in San Jose, California, so a big city where, there was a lot of opportunities, but also a lot of things were very expensive. And my parents, being so young, just had to work to provide for their kid, myself. So at a very young age, I was very discouraged because I just didn't have a role model. I was the only kid at the time, and the only role models I, in a sense, had were older kids at my school, mind you, fifth grade or sixth graders when I was in fourth grade, that were in a sense affiliated with gangs, and they were role models because they were going through the same issues. Their parents were involved, and they nurtured all the younger kids in the school. And yeah, maybe it was not the best option, but hey, that was the only love and the only nurture I had at school. However, I knew I didn't want to go through the same path they were going through, and looked away and started doing well in school. I started doing well in school because I started sacrificing my mornings or my afternoons to ask for help, ask for guidance from my teachers, either English or math or science. The teacher that really helped me was Miss Bish. She helped me after school or before school, and just also helped me remind me for exams or tests that I sometimes forgot about. And finally, one day after school, she tells me, Solomon, you made it. And I'm like, what do you mean I made it? She's like, you made it. You earned the spot, and also, not just a spot, but also to be recognized for getting honor roll. And at the moment, I didn't know what honor roll meant. I was like, okay, so it's another certificate. Like, what's the big deal? She's like, no, like, honor roll is one of the highest certificates you can get when you're in fifth grade. And that's when it struck me that, oh man, I made it. I made it, and I was so happy, and I still get butterflies in my stomach to this point. But at the same time, I was very sad. And I was very sad because I knew for a fact my parents were not going to be there. My parents could not miss those hours at work. They could not lose that money to pay bills, to pay for my food, to pay for clothing. And then a week passes by, and that big day comes, honor roll ceremony. And as excited as I was very sad because I knew my parents were not going to be there. I walk up on stage. I go shake the hand of the principal. We turn to the right to look at the camera that's they're gonna take a picture of us. And as I keep looking at the corner of my eye, I see my parents. I'm speechless. I see my parents. And the same lesson they taught me since I was young was the lesson they were teaching me there that day at my honor ceremony. Son, family comes first, and education is very, very important.